No, it's a. I understand. Let me think about this. Romance, 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 romance. She probably doesn't like niggas. He doesn't like. There's something about this. I'm trying to think this through. It's guys. Maybe it's a second personality that she had. Genocide Jack. That's why she's acting so weird. Byakuya will be able to persuade her.
That's fine.
What do you want?
It's Byakuya.
Byakuya, that's great. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Never again.
What? Stop talking. Let's go.
They're brushing this off on purpose.
Don't make me repeat myself. Let's go.
Nigga.
So, in other words, what? Interesting. Such ignorance. Hmm. Hmm. What? Hmm. Hmm. So, in other words,
Yep.
hmm. That's right. Hmm. 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 That's right. So, in other words,
It's Toko.
in other words,
Or the dude with the long hair. That's my assumption.
interesting.
Or Celeste. Those are my three.
Such ignorance. That's fine.
They're all guys. It's Toko. It's Toku. Toko. They're all guys. What did I. Bro, I'm telling y'all, it's Toku. It's Toko. Because she, she wasn't good with guys. She was awkward. She liked Byakuya. She's really delusional.
Hmm.
Okay, weekends. But it's Toku, bruh. Toko. It's Toko. It's so obvious. Dog, it's Toko.
So, in other words,
It's Toko.
let's go.
We're done.
I don't have time to play with you. Goodbye.
It's Toko. Girls' locker room.
I feel as if...
That's it. I'm sure of it. Well, it would seem.
Go. That wasn't there. Nah, that was not there. I don't remember seeing that. Toko put that up there.
forgiveness.
Indeed. However... Well... So then... Goodbye.
The lamp! The lamp! Extension cord.
I see you. That's it. Well.
Hey, you fry me, bro.
I'm sorry. However, of course.
They swapped everything. They swapped everything. They swapped it. Because they took the extension cord out.
think that I don't want to say it that way. A lot of people enjoy playing basketball, but I really love playing basketball. I think it's family and basketball for me. So, like I said, not being able to play, I wish I could do anything to be on the court, but I couldn't. So, like I said, I try to put myself in positions where I could learn about the game and just improve as much as I can.
Yeah. Huh? Well... Yeah, totally. Ah!
Mmm. 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 Hershey's next to the storage area. It's Toko. I knew you were in here.
Most unfortunate. Actually. Indeed. What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She doesn't want to be around niggas. I mean, people. I mean, girls.
Yes, indeed.
Oh no, I have everything.
So, I'm getting tired of of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial. You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on...
It's time to release before I start. But I'm saving my game first. Don't forget to save your game. All right, we're back and better. Let's go. Joker.
Yo.
Come on!
What are you gonna do?
Let's go. Hey, come on.
You're cooked, buddy. It's you, Toko. It's obviously her.
Hey, come on.
Oh, very sad.
Count on it. Well
All right, Kyoto.
Shall we go?
Hmm.
It's true.
I actually like the music.
Very nice. Well? Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's get this up. Let's get this show on the road, bro.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
You cooked.
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, let's talk about...
It was a dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Bro, what?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No,
I was supposed to...
wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yes! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here.
Okay, Miyaki.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is
It's-
already quite clear.
I already know too.
For real?
Yep.
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack. The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of genocide, I don't know who that is!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. Case closed, as far as...
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
At first, I didn't know what the hell was going on, but you just have to
No one reason. he
refute
could
your
be
argument.
involved.
Refute an argument.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it?
It's Toko,
What's something
bruh.
like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually...
Boob lust is crazy.
More important is the other.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you
In every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it?
Because that person
There's
is
only one logical answer I can think of.
that person is Genocide Jack.
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What did I say?
Genocide Jack's true identity.
It's not even her fault. I mean, it's her fault. See,
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a second.
but it's so obvious.
Blodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is
All right.
Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man.
Skier?
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity.
Schizo, bruh.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when
She woke up. This was so obvious.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Yes.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting
It's
in.
from getting Genocide Jack out.
It was
Keeping.
to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation.
Mm.
She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
Mm.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
This man with the BS. You're dying,
Besides,
Toko.
you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I mean, that's a different personality.
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't...
You need to...
Well, hello there.
Oh.
Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the f... Yo, what? Jack, who's Jill?
You figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
That's what I'm saying.
What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
Oh my god.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another...
Miss Jack,
What's up?
some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation.
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
It's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself is just kidding again.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous... There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Bro, this is...
Sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
What?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to
Yeah.
believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
I don't get it.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're...
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Shoot! Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
Give it up. You killed her.
Bro, I'm about to lose this, but it's okay. I get a rematch. I get a.
Sorry, but I didn't...
You say that, but do you really...
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
Oh, an alibi, huh?
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches.
Milton's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very
What
particular
the
way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that. There are two clear differences between the I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah, yes.
Bro, ain't no way Sakura, bro.
It's strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method, and there's more. What?
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop them? So, are you saying the other difference has to do...
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to
Big Mac is crazy.
There's actually one more difference!
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in
They're all
each
men.
There's a pattern there.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as day why I couldn't have possibly...
They're all men.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
She has something against men.
Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases,
They're all guys. This is the easiest one though.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl!
Oh, he was right. Fumi was right.
Now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Lowly curse!
Lowly? Curse?
Bro, he's mad as shit.
For a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That
But this doesn't.
make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
It's Sakura, bruh.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the
Cause he spilled it. Cause you're telling me she switched it?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire...
Okay, whatever. There's still
Are you sure about that?
Girls were given scissors, right?
She's fully equipped. That's right. So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not...
Who? It's not Byakuya, bruh. It's not him. No, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up, cause who, man? Who can tie a rope? Ain't no way.
my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents.
Oh!
You'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all...
Are you sick? Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious?
The way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Okay, you're going to...
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that. On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Makoto?
Go ahead. Share...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before he found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any...
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before he found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check...
That's a natural reaction!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a... So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
if you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
That's a natural reaction!
The victim was Chihiro. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
if you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
That's a natural reaction!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room. There was no time for... What's so strange?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
That's a natural reaction. The victim was Chihiro, who was a... So, of course, I would suggest
Just we checked. There was no time. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
I'm searching this up because what the hell? I don't understand this. Dangan. Absorb before.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction. The victim was Chihiro, who was a... So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker.
There was no time for... What's so
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity to
That's a natural... The victim was Chihiro.
No, it's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
To your claim that you want.
I see. That's interesting. Very interesting indeed. Huh? What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you... What's the matter? You're not finished already.
There is.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this. The proof you're looking for is...
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's... What? It absolutely was!
then there must be something very fishy indeed.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No.
Yes, Cap! You're a liar! Look at him! He's like, what?
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before.
How did I not see this?
Because you see, that rope, or should I say...
An extension cord.
Extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't just...
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this. I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right? What's wrong? I asked you.
Hell yes, that's what happened.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we...
Sure. Do we really need...
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that
The
right?
carpet.
And what, pray tell, is still bothering? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Shoot! I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that?
Why is he acting like
The
this?
disappointment's this. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me.
I believe I do.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Yep.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Sakura, man.
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
To be in a girl's locker room?
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
It's Sakura, because he doesn't really know how guys and girls act.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally
The boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in
It's
a boys'
Sakura.
locker room.
So you're saying that
And there's one other thing I noticed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
protein.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
In the girl. It was switched.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away.
It was switched.
In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but
That's what I'm saying.
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
I don't understand.
An even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only... She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin.
She did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling...
Yeah, she used one of the that was broken. Broken the.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. Shit!
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no...
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that...
She could get into the boys' locker room, no problem.
You got it. Yep. You're actually smart.
Is it really? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate program. I'm sure that would have been...
No, I don't think that she used the thing that was in the main...
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No, it's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using...
It's a
someone
loophole.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing.
What's the difference? That's a thing that caught me off guard.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
Of course.
So, if she didn't use Leon's...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room.
Okay then, I vote for...
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth, and there's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
Wait. Just what do you think you're...
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting.
Huh? It'll make... Well, all right then. I declare... Now then, what is it you want to show us?
Oh, I have no doubt it'll...
Let's see. She probably gonna have some shit that we don't would like. No.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to...
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time. Be sure to examine the entire...
Examine her.
No, wait.
It's probably best. It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just...
Very well.
But you're a girl.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would... So just leave this to me.
Stop.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl?
That's not it at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Be sure to check her entire body.
Her entire body? What?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible. This girl is...
Is what?
A guy?
Is a boy.
What? No. Hey, bro.
So she was actually
No. Hey, bro. Hey,
Wouldn't
bro.
joke about this.
Ben, it's really true?
Bro, that's why she switched it. What the fuck?
Was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right
Bro,
off
what
the
the
bat.
son?
Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Bruh.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh?
Son.
Yes, that certainly does make things much
Ain't no way, bro. This,
excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
bro, that's crazy.
I do apologize. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl,
Bro.
but a boy. And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
And that's why he was going in at night.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy.
So then, there should be no issue. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but...
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is a most titillating situation!
Bruh. Chihiro just...
So now everything has been...
Oh.
All the mysteries...
Okay, well, connected or clear or what?
That's why she didn't get along with the girls.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned...
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Bruh.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
That don't make no sense.
No, I am not effing with you right now.
I respect
Telling you
it.
the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Now then, if it...
Well, I don't think I could...
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear. Byakuya
Bro,
did
this
it.
is going all over.
I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility, because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm...
Damn straight. Count me in. Do you not have a mind of your own? Of course I do.
Bro, Chihiro, bro, was a guy.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time.
That's very true.
Our lives are all...
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
There's something that it's a guy, so how I'm pretty sure it's a boy. Let me think this through. It's a boy because how did the person gain access to the boys' locker room?
I got it!
Exactly.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Wait, clues out there. Nobody get a look. I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man! Game over!
Yay! No! Not game over!
That's Cap.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Shoot! Isn't there a single clue that... Well, clues that did nobody get a look.
I'm sure if someone saw the killer...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all... You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And no...
No, it's wrong.
Celeste saw him.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered.
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about it. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all...
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the door. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them.
We have no evidence towards that, though.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of
He was not comfortable with girls.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out.
Which means that conversely, he must enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed. The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right?
But knowing what we know...
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Bruh, I don't know who the killer is.
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about it? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down...
Even if we had the equipment for that.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just...
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you... The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore...
I'm really like I don't know what I'm gonna use.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
I really don't know who.
Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it? First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Shoot!
First of all, we know where Chippy was on his way, so next we... Why did he choose the specific...
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! He picked that tracksuit. It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're... The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
I'm assuming Celeste's account.
We know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! It matched the one...
So, what you're saying... The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising...
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Be looking this up.
First of all, we know he was on his way. So next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! It matched the one the culprit...
So, what you... The killer was wearing the same blue...
No, it's wrong!
How did you know it was blue?
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few... She never said anything about the jacket's color.
Bro.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you...
Hey, Celeste, what color was...
As a matter of fact, it was...
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told of...
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time...
Then the only reason he could have known what color is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only
Cherry?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony, when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen...
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that ticked me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer... You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred...
Are you a witch? She's a...
No, not nearly as frightful...
Mondo, did you really...
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say. What gives you the right...
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with...
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Really? Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking of...
Jeez, is your confidence...
What? It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the...
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so...
You're right. They're not.
So what's the
They're
weak point?
totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be for all your confidence. That is a remark.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in how precisely?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never...
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right? I think it's a necessary piece of information.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would...
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for push. Then allow me to make a special announcement. When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the
Oh.
sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new...
That is a mere...
Yep.
Anyway, if you found, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weak.
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by...
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible. I don't know of anyone who took...
I do.
I know someone who did. See,
I know
think
too.
the one who may have taken the...
It was both of them though.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna. And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. I don't accept this. Show...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually, then that proves that what Makoto said...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, it's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is... But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says...
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to an... It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? You are wrong! You have everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back that way? Everything will...
I'm pretty sure I looked.
I refuse to give up yet.
I like how you can do that. That was close.
The killer is you! First, let's take a look. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing... That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple. Because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own handbook to gain entrance to the book. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls'. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Why though?
That could have been the end of things. But no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro there, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauce somehow, the killer knew that the handbook could, and the reason they knew that is and that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Wait. No, here's your evidence. You need evidence. Without any proof, you can't... Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it. If my thinking so far is Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Oh my god.
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Who will you elect as the Blackened? Will you make the right? What's it gonna be?
Niggas just dying.
What? Unbelievable.
Sorry.
What is this?
Now then. Actually... Ha!
Weak, 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 weak,
Oh my god.
weak, weak, weak.
Chiro, I'm sorry.
Hey, What?
I'm sorry. But...
That's right. I want to change.
Bro, but it sounds like a girl. You got me fooled, bruh.
Hey,
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Correct. Indeed. Certainly.
But...
Because... I knew it.
What is this? You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat myself.
Hey,
Oh my god. Mondo. This is crazy.
I just... Don't fuck with me.
He didn't kill him though. His brother saved him.
sorry. Huh? But I want to change.
You piece of... What? What?
Huh?
What?
No! What's wrong?
Damn you!
I just wanted to...
Yeah, that's right. You son of a bitch! I killed Chihiro, even after all this time. I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Nah, bruh.
Yep.
It can't be.
Well now.
Ridiculous.
Now then, I prepared a very... Let's give it every...
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Right. Bro, what the fuck? That makes no sense what just happened. What? Mondo Butter is crazy. This game is out of pocket. They turned this nigga into butter. I feel you, brother.
What is this?
Naturally.
Hey, However,
What?
Bro, this nigga's a psychopath. What the hell is wrong with this nigga, bruh? I need to get this.
Honestly,
This nigga's not to be trusted.
well,
That's right.
we'll see.
But
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey,
What's this?
you.
Bro, what?
What?
Damn. What the heck? Damn it! Ooh, how exciting!
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up!
This is out of pocket.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. Fear and despair charge full. But I must admit, I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see. As long as you don't want to know my measure. Ooh, my. You really took me by surprise. I know I said you could ask it. Super denied, ultra denied, demonic and nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their...
How many chapters are there, bro? Damn, nigga. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mondo's dead, bruh. Junko's dead. Sayaka's dead. Leon's dead. Like, what the fuck?
I know I shouldn't cry, but I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon. I can't let myself think about... If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to...
Yep, she's next.
okay? Huh? But...
Bro. This game is something else, bro. I could have saved my game earlier. What the fuck?